And we're joined by Robyn Beauregard, Eli's father. Robyn, what's the main reason? I've seen a few interviews that you've granted since this tragedy. What's on your mind? What is it that you most wanted to get out to the public about this?
Just that, there's a lot of other teenagers out there that are in similar situations, not just in this city, but all across Canada, that are feeling the need that it's better to go to the streets. And there is a lot of programs out there for teens, like youth shelters and things like that. And they honestly need more funding. They need more programs for the teens that the teens are actually interested in, I think. And then they would probably be more apt to want to spend more time there and not be going to the streets and doing whatever they were doing out there.
You've spent a few days on the streets of Kelowna. What did you sort of pick up on after kind of talking to people and seeing how things are?
There's definitely a problem there. There was at least 30 to 40 people on Leon Avenue there yesterday when I was down there, and they're all really upset. A lot of them knew who my son was, and they're in a rough situation, and a lot of them were saying, that I want to be out of this, I don't want to be here, and I think there's definitely a mental health connection to it for a lot of them, and I don't know if the services that are there or in the community are being accessed by them. That's what it comes across as.
This is a very hot topic in Kelowna right now, how to approach the issue of the rising number of homeless people on our streets. Most of the experts seem to prefer the idea of starting by putting a roof over their heads and then deal with underlying issues like addictions. Others say that really isn't the right way forward, and it damages the areas where these facilities might be placed. What are your thoughts?
I think it's something that has to happen, whether it damages some people's views of their community, because if nothing's done about it, things like this will keep happening, and that will damage the community tenfold.
One thing that I think is important about talking to someone like you at a time like this is that it does remind people that this isn't just an issue of numbers. These are real people with families who love them.
Yeah, and a lot of all those people that I saw out there yesterday, they all have families somewhere that are probably wondering where they are, and if they're safe, if they know they're on the streets of Kelowna, or any city for that matter, any city all cities have homeless issues in them, and I think it might be something that never goes away completely, but we can do more.
So Eli found his way on the street because you were saying prior to the interview that he just couldn't settle into a situation, even at home, where he had to live by some rules. He needed to get out and be his own man.
I think every teenager kind of goes through a phase where they want to rebel against their parents and they want to do their own thing, and but a lot of times I think they're not thinking of the consequences sometimes of some of the things that they may be up to, or who they're with, and I think has a lot to do with what happened to Eli. It was just a time and a place and people that he was in the wrong spot.
You must have felt when you knew that he was not only out of the house but on the street, you must have worried about him even then.
Oh yeah. I actually was talking to him from the youth shelter. I believe he was calling me on a regular, like at least once a week for a while there. He was only on the streets for 3 months, and the last I talked to him was 6 days prior to this incident, and he was happy. He's like, I'm really happy. I'm doing everything I've ever wanted to do and enjoying life. And I said, do you need need some cash for some food or anything?" He said, "No, youth shelter is hooking me up with everything I need." So, because I was thinking of coming down here for the summer or part of the summer, and just to find him, and from Calgary, yeah, and just to find him and make sure he was good. But the last I spoke to him, it didn't seem like I should rush. He was good where he was, and that it seemed like it was probably going to be a fight if I tried to get him away from there.
I can't imagine what it was like when you found out. I guess, was it?
It was.
Friday?
It happened Thursday night at about 11:20, somewhere around there, and I found out at about 5 o'clock in the morning the next day from his mother, and yeah, it was pretty rough. 'Cause suddenly your whole life just gets flipped upside down, and so luckily, I had my parents visiting me from out in Ontario, and they were able to drive me out here with them, and so we got here pretty quick. And Saturday afternoon, somewhere around there, we got into town and immediately realized that it was a lot worse than we thought it was. So
I know that one of the reasons that you wanted to speak publicly about what's happened is just to make sure that this case gets all the attention that it deserves. Do you feel that the investigation into what happened has all of the attention that it should have?
I hope that the investigation is going as well as possible, and I hope it gets wrapped up as quickly as possible. But I'm kind of I don't know what exactly is going on there, so it could be a little bit, because it's, I guess, considered a homicide now. So I don't know if that changes things for the RCMP, but it's delaying everything by it being carried out, and I don't want it to be just swept under the rug as just a something that can be just handled by the RCMP. Every person that shows interest in thoughts and prayers and messages on Facebook and for our family is priceless, because Eli was the kind of kid, he was really outgoing. That's what he would have wanted, totally.
It's with that in mind that you've planned a vigil for him for Sunday evening?
Yeah, so there will be a candlelight vigil on Sunday at 9 p.m. at the Sail statue in City Park in Kelowna there. And anybody is welcome to come out. Anybody who has teens that want to, talk about their feelings about it. I will be there. I will be ready to speak to anybody that would like to talk. And I hope that by doing this, we can bring the community more together, and hopefully this won't happen again.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Kelowna Now.